I'm going to take you into the Picture and Sound Lab because I am meeting with some Sony Electronics engineers today. Hey, you guys.
Hello.
Okay, so we have just entered the Sony Electronics Picture and Sound Lab. And this is Tim.
Hi.
In this Picture and Sound Lab, there's some testing going on.
Right, Picture and Sound Lab is where we evaluate picture quality under a multitude of different conditions and different signal types, trying to give the customer the most optimum picture. Right now we're testing a couple of different Sony models. We have Sony VE5 Eco Bravia, which is our Eco model uses much less energy, 65% less energy than the current Energy Star requirements. And we're testing one of our XBR9. Both of these are 46-inch TVs, and so we're looking at the power consumption differences between them because they're both using different technologies.
Okay, and I see some meters hooked up here. What are those meters
Well,
doing?
we've got a power meter hooked up, and really what we're looking at is how many watts each one of these televisions is drawing. Currently, our XBR9 is about 175 watts, and the VE5, our Eco model, is about 122. We are looking at energy consumption of some TVs as we're preparing to head to Sacramento here in a couple of days to have discussions with the CEC about some proposal that they've made and are looking to adopt regarding TV energy consumption. California likes to be a trendsetter in certain areas, and in this case we think they're kind of making a mistake that we should reach for more federal regulation if we're going to regulate at all. We'd prefer, one, that these requirements be voluntarily and that the customer can choose and not the government. And we propose that we'd have federal legislation as opposed to local state. It makes it much more difficult logistically trying to get California-specific product only to California, and everything else for the other states adds to our transportation and shipping costs and ultimately leads to an inflated cost to the customer. So here's something we submitted to the CEC. It's a table of cost comparison comparing two current models, a 40-inch V5100 and a 40 VE5, the Eco model. And you can see the panel costs 32% higher, the electronics are 10% higher. And the overall price of the TV, we're setting at a $200 price point above the VE5, above the V5100. And then looking at the energy consumption of kilowatts per year, 285 to 166. So it's a good energy savings, but when you compare that to the cost of electricity, that's $10.22 per year over 8 years. It's only an $81.76 savings over 8 years, and the consumer's paying $200 more for that television. In that 8-year life, they're spending $118 more.
So there's some special things about the Eco Bravia TV I want you to tell us about.
Well, one of the features is what we call the presence sensor, and you can see it indicated here. We have a bar that's counting down. When it doesn't detect motion in the room, this starts to count down at a predetermined setting the user defines. If there is no motion detected, like you're taking a nap, I have young kids, they keep me up all night, I like to take a nap in the afternoon sometimes, then if there's no motion in the room, the actual lighting system for the TV will shut off. The sound will still be on, and even after a certain period of time, if there's no movement, even the sound will shut off and it'll go to a standby condition.
That's great, so it's using less energy.
Much less energy. We've got a actual power saving switch here on the side. You can see it's a manual switch towards the bottom right hand side of the television. Most TVs today are equipped with go to a standby position when you turn them off using the remote control. The standby condition means it's still consuming some amount of power, but with a true off button we can completely drop the power off.
If you've heard of like vampire mode, where your television is sucking energy while you're away and it's not on, this actually will help stop that.
Some TVs have features like electronic programming guide, TV guide built in. Those require data, and a lot of times they don't go out and collect the data until certain predetermined times or when your television is in its standby mode.
Well, I appreciate your time very much today, and thank you for explaining all of that.
It was our pleasure.